Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're listening to The Voice 17104.com.
Ha It's the show, y'all. It's the show. It's the show. You know how I do it. It's the show.
Oh my God.
It's the show.
Excuse me, Dougie Fresh.
Boom. Back. What's happening? Hey! Well, you know I always start this show. I cannot control what happens on the corners of New York, D.C., Chicago, or Baltimore. But I can always control what happens right here on Kenny's Corner. Boy, I am hyped right now. I got my main man on the show. I got Ricky Watters. Ricky Watters of the 49ers Super Bowl ring having Ricky Watters. Juke him out their shoes. Ricky Watters. All the things you want to tell. Notre Dame running the punt return back his freshman year. Ricky Watters. Famous Ricky Watters. But if you were from Uptown Harrisburg, you just called him Skinny Rick. What's going on, Rick?
Bro, what's up, man? This is what's up.
Man,
what's up?
You look good, man. You look good.
Thank you, brother. Man, I'm hanging in there. You know how it is.
Yeah. So, hey, Gina, we got people joining in. So here's my question, Rick. I know you're doing a lot of different things, you know, but football was good to you. And so just say, man, I want some football questions first. What was the hardest hit you ever had to take in a game? Gave it to you.
It's so funny. People always ask me that, and I really can't tell you one hit that did it for me. Like so much, because it was so many cats. It was, I had Reggie White. I'm dealing with Warren Sapp. I'm dealing with these big monsters, the monsters of the Midway, you know. Right. I had the fridge fall on me one time, knocked the wind out of me. So, you know, I had a whole lot of hits like that. But some of the hits that was the hardest ones was the ones that they didn't see me coming.
Right.
Like I said, you know, Reggie White saying, man, you know, I'm a chip on him, right? You know, I'm a knock his block off, I thought. He don't even see me coming. I knocked myself out almost, you know, hitting that big mug. He's like a rock, you know? So it's a lot of guys, they brought it to me. There's no doubt about that. A lot of great players that I played against, but I never let it show.
You know why you didn't let it show, right?
I was used to it.
Where you from?
I'm from Harrisburg. I'm from Uptown. I was used to it. They didn't hit me no harder than y'all was hitting me. That's for sure. Without no pads. Tell them. Glass, no grass.
Glass, no grass. That's right. Hey, so Rick, as you went through your career, some say it's hard to hear, Ricky. Is that anything we can do that on our viewers?
That is on your phone. They'll probably tune in the other feed.
Okay. Maybe that's because I did have my phone turned out kind of low. So you in your career, how did you maneuver after football? You know, how difficult was life after no one screaming your name, no one, how did you, what was that like?
It's so funny that you say that, because that's exactly what as soon as you said that, I was like, well, first of all, no one's screaming your name anymore. It doesn't matter when you're doing all these great things around the house. You know, you got a kid now, changing diapers, you know, you taking out the trash and whatnot. Nobody is going to cheer you for that right there. So that right there was very tough.
Nope.
when you stop playing. I think everybody kind of goes through that. Everybody I've talked to, they go through a little bit of, you might even have a little, where you're not feeling yourself for a minute.
Right.
Because you're like, man, you're used to doing something for so many years, and you're used to doing it at the highest level, and nothing else compares after that. It's like there are other things you want to do in life. There are hobbies that I have, things like that, but nothing compares to that. I don't know, that rise that you get when you're on the ascent and you're starting to play well and you're starting to get it, and people are starting to tell you that, hey, you're pretty daggone good.
Pretty good.
Things like that. So then, you feel good, and like I say, you're doing that. Even people don't realize that even on your off season, you're still doing football. When you're playing football, it's all year round. It's not just during the season. So you're always doing football. You're always in some type of way having that ball still in your hand, no matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're talking to the media, if you're talking to young people, trying to help them figure out their way in the sport and different things that they're going through. It's always you, and you're the center of attention. You're in the spotlight, and then when it's over, it's really over. You're like, oh my God.
Wow.
Like, no one's calling me. What's happening? No one's really, checking on me.
I definitely understand that, because even as, BET Kenny Robb, after it's all over, no one's rushing to book me. No one's rushing to, you know what I mean? I couldn't wake up without my phone.
And you was cold too. You was cold. Phone. I gotta tell you that. Yo, I loved watching you. I had everybody tuning in for that.
Oh my goodness. But it's different now. So I get you on that. And so it gets real quiet. Now, does that ever affect, like, man, I want to do something grand again? You know what I mean?
Right.
You used to have you're a little older now, but you're musical. You had a little musical thing on you. You always wanted to get a little. And now your son's a fantastic musician.
Thank you, bro. He's taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Does that give you some charge again, like public? Because my son is getting it in a different arena.
Without a doubt. Well, first of all, you feel a little depressed when it's over, and I don't think that probably, at least in my case, I can't speak for everybody. I've talked to a lot of different people about it and players that have played, but you don't really notice that is really happening to you, that you might be getting in a little depression. So the best thing you have is the people around you. So hopefully you have people who care about you, who will tell you, man, I think this is going on. I think you need to, find something to do. You got to get out of the house, my man. You can't stay in there, because you fall into a little rut, and it's like you don't want to go out. You don't want to do things. It's kind of tough, because where's my teammates, all the camaraderie that you had, the coaches and everything. It's really a tough thing when it's over, and it's really good when you have people in your corner who care about you, to tell you what's going on and to help you. My kids help me tremendously. My wife, she helps me tremendously. And the fact that they're doing so well, of course it helps me, because I say I did the right thing, man. I stopped when I was supposed to. I know I could have kept playing. I could have had some more yards, but hey, at what cost?
At what cost, though? At what cost? But, and you still, you know what I mean? Now you're going to reconnect it with Kenny Robb.
Yeah. And my teams are playing right now, so I'm sitting here talking to you, because
I know.
I love my man.
So tell me this: when did you know you were good, NFL good? Because I know when I knew, but when did you know?
Man, it was a tough one, because I think every step of the way, it keeps getting harder and harder. So that's one of those things that you almost never know until it actually happens, that, dang, I made it. It's actually going to happen. And I don't even know if you know this, bear with me, because this is a little bit of a story here. But it almost ended before it even got started for me. Because when I first got there, and I don't know if people even know this, but when, you're drafted, the very next day you go there and you are with the team and you are sitting in there and you're like, whoa, I'm in here. And I thought it was just going to be the young guys in there. I didn't know it was going to be Jerry Rice. I didn't know it was going to be Steve Young. It was going to be Joe Montana.
All the legends.
They all right there. And I'm in a locker beside them. So, of course, I had my head in the locker. Don't nobody talk to me. I don't know what to say. What am I going to actually say to these guys? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the craziest thing was because Joe, he's from Pennsylvania. He went to Notre Dame. Right. And obviously he was a great player at the 49ers. So he knew what I was going through. Man, I can't never forget when I was standing there. I looked and he was saying something. Looked like he was talking to me. He was like, yo, what's up, Doma? What's up, man? How you doing? And I looked. And when you're a rookie, you got to be careful. You can't be like, hey, how you doing? He'd be like, man, I wasn't talking to you, Rook. They'll do you like that. Like, man, be quiet. Nobody told you could talk yet or not. Stuff like that. So I was like, I looked to see, make sure he wasn't talking to somebody else. And I put my head back in right back in. So I was like, man, next thing I know, he said, he's still talking to me. I turn around. He's closer to me now. And Joe with them eyes and everything, Joe doing this thing, I'm like, man, Joe looking right at me, talking to me. He said, yo, what's up? After this, we're going to go get some wings, whatever you want to go. Unless you got something else to do. And of course I was like,
I ain't got nothing to do.
Let me see. If I had something to do, I don't have nothing to do no more. You know what I'm saying? So he was great for me, man. He was telling everybody, this is my brother from another mother, all that kind of stuff. We went out, man. We had a great time. So he made me feel like I was part of the team. So from that point on, I felt really good about who I was and where I was and thought, I made it, but what happened to me was in college, I had a stress fracture my senior year. I played through a stress fracture and even went through the combines with a stress fracture. So you never know the things that you can do when you really, really want to do it. And you really, really care. And somehow I made myself and fought through it and was able to play well enough to obviously get to the league. But once I got there, that thing broke through all the way through and everything changed for me. Everybody started being like, went from, yeah, we about to do this thing. My man's here. He's showing what he can do to, man, what's wrong with you? Are you plastic? They was going to be plastic, man. All kind of stuff saying I break easy, all that kind of glass, man. It started getting really tough for me. And I fought my way back and I was going to play. I was starting to play again. They were like, man, we're going to, put you up on the varsity team, but for the pros, you know what I mean? I wasn't on the scout team no more. So then all of a sudden I'm out there, I'm doing my thing, bam. I started doing very well again. And then all of a sudden, one of my teammates grabbed me for the ball, grabbed my finger. He's, 300 and some pounds, all muscle and whatnot, and broke my hand. So then I broke my hand. So I was out my whole first year. I missed my whole first year. I was on injured reserve. So they had already gone in another direction. They already drafted another running back. They already had everybody was starting to, we ain't even dealing with this guy no more. Right. So that is the worst thing you could one of the worst things I would think you could go through. Because once that happens, man, I went from first string to like the fifth string. So I was coming in the fourth quarter, and that's on the preseason. So most of the time when that happens, this guy's about to get cut. So they already had their mind made up. They were going to cut me and all that, but I balled out, man. In that fourth quarter, I balled out. We played against the Redskins. They was the champions. We played against them, and I did well in that fourth quarter. So then people were saying, well, let's see what he do against, the better players, let him play in the third quarter. So then I balled out again. Then it was second quarter, whatnot. And in practice, I was running all my plays out. Like if you really watch practice now and how even back then running backs, once you get the ball and you go cut through the line, you make a move, you kind of slow down. You don't really, that wasn't me. I was running all the way out and guys were like, man, I would have had you. I said, well, then just run with me because I want to make sure. I need to know. Yeah, I gotta make sure you had me. But I won my way back in. I grinded like I had to. And by the start of that season, I was playing. We was against the Giants, LT and them in the Meadowlands, and I was a starting running back. So I could have easily quit.
You juked LT, right? You juked LT, right?
I don't want to talk too much mess about my man. He used to chase me and everything, man. That was my boy. But even afterwards, he used to be like, man, you was a hot dog, man. You was making me look bad. I was like, nah, man, I love you. You kidding me? I said, man, but I had to get my mindset that I don't care who I'm going against. I'm going to be the best player on that field, at least at my position. I'm going to do the best I can, and I don't care who I'm going against. And I think from that point on, I just took off. I started really believing in myself and who I was and what I could bring to the team. And man, thank God I actually did.
Man, hey, look, we're gonna take it back. If anybody got any questions, you can call in at 717-889-7181. 889-7181. Ricky Waters. Hey Rick, that infamous run up, jump in the air, and come down and fago. Where'd you get that from, Rick?
Philly Rick, baby.
Philly Rick.
That was Philly Rick, man. That mug was one of the best athletes I ever been around. Could not even believe what he was doing, man.
He was amazing, wasn't he?
He was amazing. His spin moves too, all of that. Because, he was just, he was spinning, hit the ball.
You took all that to the league.
I took it all.
They weren't ready for it.
They didn't know the Harrisburg style.
So when you said Joe Montana,
yeah,
what was it like catching a pass from Joe Montana?
Man, it was awesome, man. He would throw me behind the back passes, no look passes, all kind of stuff, man. But we never got to play in a real game together because that's when Steve, they was transitioning to Steve, who was much younger, obviously, and a great player as well. They're both in the Hall of Fame. I think that speaks for itself. So, I hated to see him go. I loved him. I still do. I mean, that's my guy.
Right.
But I'm also happy. I was happy for Steve too, man, because Steve had a lot of pressure on him, just like I had. And guys were like, man, you ain't never going to be no Joe Montana, that kind of stuff. So for him to play the way he did and for us to win that championship, it was awesome.
You had pressure, though, coming behind Roger Craig.
Yes, for sure.
Not the high knee. He's not the high knee in Roger Craig.
Yes, love Roger Craig. And I worked out with all those guys. When I first got here, they all ran me into the dirt, man. I remember the first time I went out there with Jerry and them, and they run this mountain, not a hill. They run this mountain, and they run up this mountain, and then they run back down the mountain. And that's before we go to the track and do all this running that we do, before we go to the weight room. And this is on the off season. So I'm like, I'm young. I'm strong. I'm a champion too. I just came from Notre Dame. We just won a national championship. I know what I can do. And these guys are older than me. So I'm just going to stay with Jerry. And then when it's time, I'm just going to take over everybody and leave, right? That was my thought process.
Okay.
Never, ever happened that way because the guy who was training us at the time was like, yo, Jerry, Raj, you guys can go. I'm like, go where? Where they going? Man, they picked it up, started running the high knees, the whole nine. Boom, left me in the dust. And I'm trying to keep up, and they leaving me. And not only did they leave me, I couldn't see them no more. I couldn't even see them no more. So by the time I got up there, dude, think about this. I got up there. They was bouncing and everything, ready to go back down. And I was like trying to keep everything in my throat, trying not to throw up. And I get up there and they're like, okay, now we go back down. So of course they left me and went back down. It took me a while to get down there. They were all laughing like crazy when I finally got
down. I just rolled on down. I just rolled down the hill. I just rolled down the hill. Oh my goodness.
So they showed me what being a champion was about on this level. See, I thought I knew and I thought I was ready, but I was not ready, man. We used to do stuff with medicine balls, man. They'd be slammed in your stomach, and we'd like be back to back, and so you don't know which way it's coming. And man, a few times I had to go to the bathroom.
So when did you get humbled? Because this is what I'm trying to say. In OLBS, couldn't nobody touch. The Our Lady Blessed Sacrament. Couldn't nobody touch. High school. Couldn't nobody touch. You know what I mean? You go to college, you run punch back. When did it slow down and says, hey, I need to slow down and really watch this game? Because how much faster was pros to college?
Yeah, actually, college is fast as well. It's just that in the pros, man, it's like they know their job. They know little things that they could never understand in the college level. It's just that the way they go about their business, and the way they watch film is amazing. Like they see the littlest thing, tendencies. This guy, before he does this, he drops his head a little bit. Those little things gives you an up on somebody, even though they're fast too, because everybody was fast. Even at college, I was like, man, I'm used to running away from everybody, and next thing I know, everybody, they're still here. Why are they still here with me?
Right beside
So, you even got to have ball security, because I used to want to, I'm about to, show out and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, somebody just knocked the ball out because they still here, bro. You didn't leave them in the dust. So it's the angles that they take, the way they go about their business. They understand the game so well, and they're great athletes. Like when you look at the linemen, even them in that box, when you from the tight end to the other tight end, or from the tackle to the tackle, they are so fast. It's like a bear coming to get you. So it's like their arms are so long and they're so quick and so fast. You have to calm yourself down so much, and you have to relax yourself to be able to see all the movements. So learning to calm down is what probably was the major thing that I had to do. I had to relax myself when I'm playing. I had to look for the tendencies, see them, see the thing. Oh, they leaning that way. They about to go that way. So I'm about to cut back, So at least I have a little thought of what I'm going to do, even if I don't do that when the play starts, because maybe they went that way and came on back. So now I got to dip around the outside or something.
Right. Wow, Rick. So now it's all over. You done got through it. You know what I mean? It's not so much the noise anymore. Ricky, Waters. It's still good to see somebody with your jersey on every now and again.
Yes.
Your kids are doing well. Your wife is doing well.
Yes.
Tell the family I love them. They know I absolutely love them.
Oh, no doubt. They love you too, bro. So they said they're gonna give you a shout out.
Come on, Dad. What is going on now? Because see, right now, my left knee is killing me. So I'm asking you, what should I do? What should I put on this left knee?
Well, I got something for you.
What you got for me?
I got this lotion right here, Impact by Ricky Waters.
Okay, Impact by Ricky.
The little go act on there, because you got to act to make an impact.
So that, because I'm telling you something. Now listen here, viewers. Ricky sent me some back in early, before the summer. And man, my joints was, and he gave, and I started rubbing that on and put some up under your tongue. And man, I'm telling you, it makes a difference. I told Ricky about this. Is what Ricky. I told Ricky and my sister is going through some joint pains.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna send both of y'all something." You know what I mean? And
Without a doubt.
so this is the kind of guy Ricky is. You know, Andre Butt said, "Hey, what's happening, Rick?
What's up?"
People like to, because they don't know. So when you don't know, you criticize.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing else to do. You know what I mean? You don't know, you criticize. Sometimes you've gotten a bad rap here in Harrisburg, but you my man. So I'm letting everybody know, hey, look, Rick's that dude. I want to tell you the kind of caliber of man Ricky and his wife is. I was laying in the hospital, and Ricky found out I was in the hospital, and him and his wife and his kids, they walked through that door. They walked through that door to see about me. To see about me.
Yes, sir.
And the emotional part about that is he had to be at McDevitt. And they were running late. And then the doctor came in and wanted to talk about my foot. And somebody said, well, we have to go. And Ricky's wife said, we're not going anywhere because Kenny is family. This is the kind of people Ricky Waters is. So I don't care about the naysayers. I don't care about it. Don't bring it to me. Waters is my friend. You understand me? And right now you can say something, I'll be like, yo, stop. 20 years ago, when I tell you to stop, you better stop. 20 years ago, when I said slow down, you go, hey. Yeah, man. But Rick, man, listen, how can they get this product?
Yes, impactheals.com. You know, it's hemp-based CBD.com. Yep. It's hemp-based wellness products, you know, for pain, sleeplessness, anxiety. Check it out. No doubt, man. It was a lifesaver for me, really. I mean, it really was. I remember like the great Jim Brown, he's a mentor of mine. And he was telling me, man, he was like, man, these pains come comes back.
Stop. You mentioned the name that you said Jim Brown?
Jim Brown.
You knew Jim Brown?
Yes, sir. Taught me how to play chess and everything.
Jim Brown.
Yep. I teach the kids.
Jim Brown.
Yo, he's a great man. Great man. On and off the field. Amazing. Taught me a lot of things. And he told me, man, he said, that pain comes back with a vengeance. And I was kind of young at the time, you know, just stopped playing. So I was like, man, you know, I'm not feeling too bad yet. But yeah, it came back with a vengeance and I couldn't sleep. Man, it was tough, man. It was tough. But so I had to come up with something. I had to find a way.
Listen. My boss on my job said 14-3, 49ers at the halftime.
Uh-oh. And I can't really, you know, they both my teams. So you know.
So I know the 49ers is your team. Everybody knows you play for Seattle. And
yes.
Everybody knows that you played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's right. Fly, Eagles, fly.
But everybody who don't know is what your team used to be.
Oh, man, don't tell them that.
Huh?
Don't tell them that.
Okay, I ain't gonna tell.
No, you can tell them because it's really funny, actually.
Listen.
They became my nemesis.
You talking about the biggest Dallas Cowboys fan? What? Ricky, I'm Tony Dorsett. I'm Tony Dorsett.
You couldn't tell me nothing when they was playing, dog.
Got in the league and couldn't stand them.
Couldn't stand them. Like, man, I can't stand that team.
Wendy Davis.
That's something else.
I don't know if you remember Wendy and Tony and that they lived right across the street. Yeah, Wendy said, "What's up?" Yeah, man.
What's up?
Come
That's
on, we got
what
the
I'm
family on there now.
That's what I'm talking about.
He said him and my brother Tony. They was y'all big Dallas fans. Yeah, oh my goodness.
We learned, couldn't tell us nothing, bro. We daggone want to cry if they lost.
Well, y'all cried a lot with the black and yellow.
Because you know my dad, that was his team, Pittsburgh Steelers, so he was always giving it to
your
me.
dad was a winner. So listen, I know you got to go. I know that, boy. We're having a good time, though. But I want to tell people the kind of man your dad was.
Oh man, please do.
And where you got that tenacity from. I remember in the parking lot, I remember two specific stories that you were in the parking lot and they threw me the ball and you weren't going to catch me before I got into the touchdown and you quit running. And your dad said, "Don't ever." And you said, "But I couldn't catch him. He was going to score." And he said, "Don't ever quit." And I was like, wow. I was like, that's something for a dad to tell. He became our dad. And yeah. I remember your freshman year. at McDevitt. And you quit on the field. Helmet off. Ah! And all we heard was, you walked over to that fence and he took that 1,000-pound finger. And man, next thing I know, that helmet came back.
You already know. There was no way he was going to let me quit.
No. Oh, we got a phone call.
Okay.
Hey, caller, you're on the block with Kenny's Corner. Go ahead with your question or comment, please.
Yeah, tell them this is Burt Jones. They'll know who it is.
Who's Burt Jones, Rick?
Yeah.
Who thought they were Burt Jones?
Rod Baltimore, a.k.a. Burt Jones.
Burt Jones.
Yo, he had the best arm, right? He was all-time quarterback, always dropping down.
All-time quarterback.
I'm like, I want him as my quarterback, but I know you used to get mad at me because back then I used to drop the ball a few times.
Hold on, he said, tell him Rodney. Listen, man, you ain't got to say Rodney Baltimore, man. We know who you are. You Rod. Hey, Rodney. You see how he get on air and get off. I'm Rodney Baltimore.
That's right. My homies, man. This is like.
Hey, Rod.
What's up, King?
You remember how you used to put the little rocks and say, "This is you, this is you, this is you."
Oh, no doubt.
And then you would find this real big rock. And go,
that was so scary.
That's you.
Yo, I can't believe.
You got a question for Rick? You got a question for Rick?
Oh yeah. Eric coming back in town. I want to see.
Yes, I definitely plan on coming back. I got a few things I need to do there still. I want to, man, you know what, man? Love Harrisburg. I love Harrisburg. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you because y'all cared about me when I wasn't Ricky Running Waters. I was just getting a Rick. And all of y'all was stronger than me, faster than me, could catch better than me, everything.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you, man. And like you said, man, you talked about coming back.
Yeah, I got some things I got to do back there, man. You know, I want to, it's only one hometown, brother. You know what I mean? I love Harrisburg. People always say, oh, ain't you from, Philly and this? Man, love Philly too, but no, I'm from Harrisburg, bro.
Harrisburg. And
that's love.
And that's love. And that's love, man. Hey, Rod, thank you very much, Rod.
Thanks. Rod Baltimore.
Love you, man. Yeah, that joker thought he was Burt Jones for real.
Man, he used to drop it in the bucket, though. He was nice for us back then, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody else want to call in 717-889-7181. We ain't got much time with Ricky Ward. 717-889-7181. We got about 20 minutes on the broadcast, but I know you got to go, don't you, Rick?
Yeah, I got some people waiting for me, you know.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, you come first, dog. I had to, get on with my man.
Can you give me the we're gonna type this on in the feed. Can you give me the website one more time?
Yeah, impactheals.com.
Impact.
Yup, Heals. Heals. Heals.
Heals.
Yep.
ImpactHeals.com.
And also, you know, Impact by Ricky Waters. I'm sure you can get there that way too.
Of course, we can put Impact by Ricky. Endorsed by.
There's 2 T's on Waters, you good.
Endorsed by comedian Kenny Robb. Okay, we leave that out.
No, I love it.
Yeah, we're gonna put that on the comment section. I'm also gonna put it up on the page, you know, because if it's gonna help me and everybody, who everybody knows in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, if you know me, and everybody who knows me in Baltimore, DC, or Maryland knows me, I got bad legs, and it helps me. So I'm waiting on my package as we speak.
It helped me, help my family, my teammates, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now I'm trying to bring it to the world because I just can't believe how well it works. And
we got it up in the feed. We got it up in the feed right now. And so
that's what's up. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Love you, man. Hey, Rick.
Love you too, bro.
Been a ball. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see you. I got my chair now. I can come out there anytime once you know that.
I know, and you know I want you out here, dog. I'll be showing you off.
I'm going to Texas. I'm going to Texas in a couple of days. And Joe Robb said, ha ha ha. He said, Rick, you are so real.
That's what's up, my man. You know, coming from him, I really appreciate that because you real too.
He said, you guys are nuts.
Well, you already knew that.
Joe Robb.
Joe Robb.
Yeah, man. So Joe's doing a lot of good things in the community as well, man. So listen, Rick, when you get here, seriously though, we're going to have a whole powwow.
I can't wait.
I mean, of moving direction, which way we want to move. All right?
Yes, sir.
Barbara's son, which is my nephew, God bless, I love that boy. He said, Unc, I gotta meet Ricky at some point.
Yes, you do. And I will be back and we are going to hang out. There is no doubt. I can't wait to see him.
And Barb just said, hi, Ricky, with a bunch of hearts. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. She was always the best to us, man.
Oh.
Because she could beat us up, but she was nice.
Yeah,
she never did.
We was always safe around Barb.
Yeah.
Always safe around Barb. There was only one girl that ever beat me up in my life, and that was Rhonda Waters, which happens to be Ricky's sister.
No, and she would beat me up too.
Could nobody beat her in the neighborhood. I'm sorry. No boy could beat Ron. Hey, Rick, man. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
God bless you, my brother.
Man. We're going to finish this show up. You are the bomb. Running Ricky Waters, my friend. Skinny Rick, my dude. My man. Peace out, brother.
Love you, homie.
Love you.
Peace.
All right, Nelly Rose said his testimony will preach that when others were counting you out, you reached down deep and really realized who you are. That's right. Mama Rose, you wrote a lot. Man, he said who you are. The greater in he, that he's in me, that he is in the world. I know, and the work begins. You realize that you were a big fish in a small pond, but then you had to play with the big fish, humbling, but you learned you had to earn your assignment. Now come Now comes the blessings because you sold out to your assignment. That's right. You know, sometimes you do have to understand where you are in life. And people will cut you off. People will count you out. You know, I walked away from my job. And I thought that was almost going to be the end of the world for me. But since I left that job, I need a vacation. I've been more busy in the Lord and in the word and the ministry, now working part-time, which feels like full-time at the mission. But it's a blessing. It's just full ministry. And so, you know, sometimes God has to move you from where you think is a good place for you so you can really see what he really has for you. So never get stuck. I heard an analogy that when whales die, they drown. They don't die out here on earth. They die because they drown. But as they're swimming, they have to come up out of the water to get air and to go back in. Well, that's just like us. The whales are in the water, but not of the water because they're mammals. So we're mammals. So we can get in the water, but we're not of the water. Just like we're in the world, but we're not of the world. I'm getting ready to go somewhere. We're not of the world. So whenever somebody has you down, it feels like you drown. And sometimes you got to realize that greater is he that is in you and come up out of the water, come out of the world, start breathing, getting some strength, getting some inspiration in your life, getting some preaching or some teaching or just some inspirational poem or something. Get something to feed your soul so eventually you can go back into this world and be amazing. And just be amazing. It gets hard for everybody. It gets hard. But we in the world. But every now and then we got to come out, take a breath, get some strength, get some oxygen in our lungs, feel good about ourselves. People have been going through some hard times right now. Bad breakups, bad marriages, bad jobs, bad everything. But don't let that consume you because you're not of the world. You're in the world. Rise above that. It's time to rise above that. Amen? Amen. All right. That is my message. That's my preaching message for today. You know what I mean? Don't get me started. Yeah, Ricky done sparked something. Oh, Ricky Waters. His America. Amen. I know that, America. Hey, D says, preach. That's what he said. You got to put exclamation on the point D so we can go preach. So we have about 15 minutes. 15 minutes. And you know, normally I do half the show on one topic, then half the show on another topic. And so, but we always end up in some type of relationship. So, here's the question. Get your phone numbers ready. 717-889-7181. We got 20 minutes. 10, 50. Yeah, we got 20 minutes. What is dating rules? How can I say this? Who is off limits to dating? Who is off limits? Is your best friend's ex-wife off limits? Is Even though you and your best friend don't talk no more? I don't know. I want to hear from y'all. I'm getting messy right now. What's off limits? What if you got into a relationship, or I don't know, with your babysitter years later? Or is that off limits? It's crazy, ain't it? I've seen this kind of stuff happen. What's off limits? 717-889-7181. 717-889-7181. What's off limits? I think really, I do believe that depending on who was in the relationship and how hurt the other person was is what they'll actually do. But relationships are tough anyway. You know, it's bad enough that you ain't add on something like that that's crazy, but it happens. It really, really, really does happen. But it's never happened to me. What D said, family. Hold on now, hold family. So when you say family, do you mean like dating your sister or something like that? I don't know. D's family. This girl D, she got her family fine. They fine, all of them fine. Sure, they all fine. You know what I mean? Let's listen. I ain't had none of them, but they all fine. They all fine. So family. So what do you mean, D? 717-889-7181. When you say family, you mean like somebody shouldn't date, or family shouldn't date family. Well, that happens in other counties. I don't know. Eddie Ingram, Eddie said Perry County. I didn't say that, Perry County. Eddie said that. I didn't say that. I did not say that. Eddie Ingram said it. I didn't say it. I do know this, though. Perry County, well, Lord. They have one major excuse in Perry County when the cops catch them. They go, no, honestly, officer, I was helping the sheep over the fence. These says sisters, brothers, cousins, uncles, aunts. He laughed. Well, yeah, they're off limits. Hold up, though. How about this? Because I've seen this situation. What if you had a first cousin, okay, and they married their wife or husband, and they got a divorce, and then 10 years later you ran into that first the lady again? Are you allowed to date her? Are you allowed to date her? That'd be a crazy family union, woman. Who's that over there? Oh, that's my first wife. And who's that? Oh, that's my cousin's first wife. That would be crazy. But you know, one of the things Ricky touched on was depression. After the fame, depression. We just lost a famous guy. I think his name was Twitch. He was on the Ellen Show. Very charismatic, beautiful smile, beautiful children. Him and his wife made some of the best dancing videos. Oh, they could really dance. But at 40 years old, life got tough. At 40 years old, he decided that they would be better off without me. At 40 years old, he says, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to throw in the towel. Me and my boss was talking about this. He said, well, you know, money don't make you happy. And my rebuttal was, but there's a whole lot of people that killed themselves that was broke. So I don't even think money could have been the factor. But I think mental illness is the factor. I think mental illness is the factor. You know, but when you're on a high, such as Ricky Waters, running touchdowns, everybody calling your names. I mean, for Pete's sake, his jersey is sold in the stadium and in the stores. Waters. I mean, it's everywhere. And now no one calls your name. No one calls you for an interview. Or they're far few in between. You have to try to keep yourself relevant. But no matter what you do, you can never be as relevant as the superstar status. And that's a hard thing to have to accept. That's a hard thing to have to accept. Now, Twitch, I don't know what happened to Twitch, because he was still up there. He was on the top. He was still with Ellen, I believe. Or was he? He might have been off of Ellen by now. I could have done it. Not the same thing. It is heartbreaking. America, it is heartbreaking, America. So what is the message we want to tell people? 717-889-7181. We got to rise above it. We have to rise above it. We have to. We have to be like that whale. And every now and then you got to come up for air. Because if that whale doesn't come up for air, the whale will drown. If he goes too deep and doesn't realize his air supply, the whale will drown in the ocean. And so sometimes we go too deep. Sometimes we're in something too long. Sometimes we're in it longer than we have to. Sometimes we're in relationships longer than we have to until it just about kills us. Sometimes we're at a job too long till it just about destroys us. America says we have to create a safe space for people to be vulnerable without judgment. That is correct, America. But before they get to that place, they have to realize I'm in too deep. I'm in too deep. And I need air. Most people, when you ask the question, do you want to die or do you want the pain to stop? Most people say, I want the pain to stop. And then that's where you can start working at. Let's work on the pain. And as you're working on the pain, you will realize that there's somewhere too deep in something. Be like the whale. Come on up out of that. Breathe. Because once you breathe and get a new perspective, you can go back and deal with it just a little better. Just a little bit better. Well, that's our show. That's our show. I done gave you Ricky Waters. I done preached a little bit. And I let my psychiatric background kick in and gave y'all a little counseling. Because that's what I do. I do it all. I'm Kenny Robb, y'all. Come on, baby. Now listen, like I always say, I can't control. So sometimes I can't control what happens on the streets of New York, D.C., Pittsburgh, or Baltimore. But I can always control what happens right here at Kenny's Corner. Good night, y'all. Oh, good picture. Good picture.